Eddie there? Oh, he's gone to the auction, is he? That's all right. Okay, we're down here. Okay.
Still circling. Let me just ring.
I rang it. He's on the way.
Is that okay? Okay, no problem. No problem. Bye. I'm just trying to get this.
No, you're all right. He wants you to set up my phone as well.
Oh. Hi, how are you? How are you getting on? You see anything there?
No, he wouldn't know where to come. And here now he's here. Yeah, that's it. Eddie. How are you? How are you? Young China, how are you? I'm glad to hear somebody's addressing me as young China anyway. Good start. It's a nice salutation, all right? Yeah. Yeah. Not true. I think. I don't know now, Eddie.
No, I don't know. We just need to get it's just not.
Yeah.
It's not even.
going on.
But on the second page, like, pull the page over and just ring the clients, they can't.
It's ringing
Keeps
now.
on saying publish time of error. Publish time of
Yeah.
error underneath
Sorry, but that's the second or third
Please,
time that
and
happens.
not-
It's like the phone.
No, I
not
into
working like
this.
the computer club problem, you just can't see anything.
A new one, and I didn't like it.
Yeah, it was fully page. What's the main meaning? Just one.
So that
Can you try and get in and just-
Get onto the online options.
yeah.
You could go to this anyway, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
Yeah, the same.
Then
Same
it's-
message
then
as
it's
always.
I'm into it all right, but I don't know how to, I can't find that. When you want to do it, there you are.
Yeah.
Can't see how to. Board it off.
Four now.
Yeah, yeah,
Fair enough.
and it's just frozen like that.
That's early days for not, you know, or something.
Just exit all of it, okay? Right, okay. Just going to ring this lady and see if she's here. And can you hear me? But I don't have my microphone on. What do I do?
And drop her in. Yeah.
Off?
See everything freshen up.
Can you hear me now?
Well, it's very scarce. So, in 2 weeks. So it's the middle now. Yeah, it's not yet at the moment.
You have to make it.
Testing, 1, 2, testing. Testing, 1, 2, testing. Testing, 1, 2, testing.
Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You're all very welcome here in the Gravel Arms car park and also online. We're offering for sale today the lands of Carn Castle Pollard, comprise 25 acres, residential farm. And the format of the auction is that we're offering the house, the residence on a half acre is lot 1, lot 2, 16 acres, lot 3, 8 acres, and then we'll offer the entire. So that's it. First of all, now I'll ask Mr. Edward Tynan of Larkin and Tynan, Notley, Solicitor of Mullingar, to read the conditions of sale.
Will I go in there? Now, the conditions of sale are the Standard Law Society Conditions of Sale 2019 edition, applicable to sale of property by public auction. I'm just going to read the special conditions. I won't read all the general conditions, but the contracts are here for full inspection by anybody if they wish to do so. The vendors are Patrick and Pauline Coughlin of Dublin Road, Mullingar, County Westmeath. The closing date for the sale will be 4 weeks from the date hereof, and the interest rate on balance purchase money outstanding after the closing date will be 10% per annum. The particulars and tenure of the property. Lot 1 is all that and those part of the lands of Carn, containing 0.543 acres or thereabouts statutory measure, with the dwelling house and outbuildings thereon being part of the property comprised in Plan 4394 of Folio WH302F, and with the property more particularly delineated on the map annexed to, and they are surrounded by a red birch line and marked with the letter D, held in fee simple. Lot 2 is all that and those part of the lands of Carn, containing 16.077 acres, also being part of Folio WH302F, I mean the property more particularly delineated on the map annexed to and thereafter under by a red birch line and marked with the letter C held in fee simple. Lot 3 is also part of the lands of Carn, containing 8.018 acres or thereabouts statute measure, again part of the lands of Folio WH302F, outlined in red on the map annexed to and marked with the letter B. And then Lot 4 is the entire of the lands in sale, which is part of the lands of Carn, containing 24.636 acres of thereabouts statute measure, again part of the property of Folio WH302F, being the property delineated on the map annexed to and outlined in red and marked with the letter A, again held to be simple. The documents of title which will be produced after before closing is a certified copy filed on Folio WH302F, birth certificate and report relating to the dwelling house, LPT printout relating to the dwelling house, that's local property tax of course, certificate of discharge from MPPR tax 2009 to 2013 inclusive, declaration of Patrick and Pauline Coughlin Ray Planning, Family Home Protection Act declaration of Patrick and Pauline Coughlin, declaration of a non-exercise of fishing rights, declaration of a non-exercise of sporting rights, and land registry compliant maps, and also a certificate of registration for the septic tank. Special conditions. Saving where the context otherwise requires or implies, or the text thereof expresses to the contrary, the definitions and provisions as to interpretation set forth within general conditions shall be applied for the purposes of these special conditions. 2. The said general conditions shall apply to sale insofar as same are not hereby altered or varied, and these special conditions shall prevail in case of any conflict between them and the general conditions. And B. Be read and construed without regard to any amendment therein, unless such amendment shall be referred to specifically in these special conditions. 3. The title of the property in sale shall commence with and consist of the documentation set out in the document scheduled thereto, and shall be derived therefrom. No objection or requisition or inquiry shall be raised by the purchaser in connection with any prior or intermediate title. 4. The purchaser agrees and accepts that no statement, measurement, quantity, or description contained in any newspaper as advertisement published by the vendor or the vendor's agent, or given orally or contained in any brochure, letter, or handout issued by the vendor in respect of the subject property shall constitute a representation inducing the purchaser to enter into the sale or any warranty forming part of this agreement. No error, which shall have the same meaning as in General Condition 29, unless contained in this agreement, shall give rise to any cause of action, claim for compensation against the vendor, or any right or rescission of this agreement. It is further agreed that this document contains the entire terms and conditions of the agreement between the parties hereto. General Condition 29 shall be read subject to this paragraph. In other words, it's the contract that you signed today that comprises the entire agreement between the parties. Number 5, the purchaser shall be deemed to have walked and inspected the property for sale, and is purchasing with full knowledge as to its condition and state of repair, also with regard to layout, access to services, repairs, maintenance, roads, planning, and all other like matters, and shall take the property as it stands. The property is believed and shall be taken to be correctly described as to quantity or otherwise, and any error or misstatement or omission in this contract or by the vendor's agent shall not annul the sale or be a ground for abatement or compensation on either side. No further inquiry, objection, or requisition shall be raised in relation thereto. Furthermore, by its execution thereof, the purchaser confirms its acceptance of the state of the property, the location and condition of the boundaries, fencing, and access to and from the property. 6. The vendors reserve the right to sell the property in one or more lots as they shall choose. 7. The purchaser shall conclusively accept and assume that the dwelling house and outbuildings on Lot 1 were constructed prior to the introduction of the Planning Acts on the 1st of October 1964. On closing, the purchaser will be furnished with a declaration of Patrick and Pauline Coughlin confirming that the dwelling house and outbuildings were constructed prior to the introduction of the Planning Acts. The purchaser shall accept such planning documentation and information without further inquiry, and no objection or requisition shall be raised or entertained in relation to planning, and General Condition 32 is modified accordingly. 8. The vendors do not give any warranties whatsoever in relation to the condition or state or repair of the property, and the purchaser shall take the property and sale as he finds it. In other words, we take it that you've inspected the property and examined it and have whatever surveys you need carried out prior to signing the contract. 9. A. The purchaser acknowledges that prior to the exchange of this contract, he has fully investigated the title of the property and sale and all other matters which he wished to investigate, and carried out all inspections, surveys, and other due diligence inquiries as he wished to carry out, and made any searches and obtained any documentation and information which he required, raised any objection or requisition or inquiries in relation thereto, and thus accepted the replies of the the vendor. B. In that regard, the purchaser has been provided with a set of replies to objections and requisitions on title prior to entering into this contract. The purchaser agrees that he does not require and will not raise any further objections or requisitions or inquiries, and general conditions 7 and 8 are hereby deleted. I have a full set of requisitions on title here with replies on them if anybody wants to see them or raise any queries in relation to them. 10. The purchaser shall conclusively accept and assume that the property abuts public road R 395X in charge of Westmeath County Council, and no further evidence of the fact that the road is in charge shall be required or furnished. 11. The purchaser shall discharge all local property tax relating to the subject property in advance of the completion of the sale and furnish the purchaser with confirmation of payment on completion of the sale. The amount paid by the vendors in respect of local property tax relating to the subject property shall be a portion between the vendor and the purchaser in accordance with the provisions of General Condition 27. In other words, the purchaser pays the entire local property tax for the year, and the vendor and the purchaser will reimburse them in respect of any local property tax applicable after the closing date. And in order to facilitate the post and closing and payment of the relevant purchase money, details of our bank account or our client bank account are contained in the contract. So that's basically the conditions of sale. As I say, all of the title documents, all of the documents referred to there are here for anybody who wishes to inspect them. The maps are here for anybody who wishes to inspect them. I presume you've already seen the maps in any event. And as I say, the requisitions on title and replies are here for examination and inspection by anybody who wishes to do so. So if you have any questions or queries in relation to the conditions of sale or the requisitions or anything of that nature, you can let me have those queries now. All right, thank you very much.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You're all very welcome indeed to Mullingar Gravel Arms Hotel and also online. I want to thank Mr. Christy May and Mr. John Cochran for facilitating us with the auction, and also to LSL online. If anybody's having any difficulty online, if they just phone the same number, we'll look after them from there. Okay, first of all, we're offering the residents Lot 1 on 0.543 acres. Lovely residence, lovely two-story house, good condition, and nice outbuildings. What I'm offered there, starting somebody further residence. What I'm offered there, put me in there at 220, 200,000. And he offers at 200,000. And he offers at 200,000. 200 anybody? 190. Well, 180 somebody. 180,000. 180. 170 anybody? 170,000. I don't think we'll start at less. The way houses are selling at the moment, I don't think we can. 170. 165. Well, 160. I won't start at less. 160. Any offer 160,000. 160. Okay. Okay, we'll move on. So to lot 2, 16 acres, real good land. There's a gate. The gate will be put there on that, and also the fence will be put up by Mr. Pat Coughlin. So what I'm offered there, will put me in there. Start me somebody at your own price. Start me at your own price. What I'm offered. What I'm offered there. Who'll put me in there at 150? 145. Well, 140 somebody. 140. 135. 130 somebody. 130. Surely 130. 125. Well, 120 somebody. 120,000. Any offers are 120,000. 120,000. You all know the way land is going, surely. At 120. Any offers are 120. 120 anybody? 120. 120. 10. Well, 100,000. Won't start at less. 100,000. One bid. Thank you. 100,000. A bid of 100,000. 100,000. 100. At 100,000 in advance now, 100,000. At 100,000 a bid in advance now, 100,000. At 100,000 a bid of 100. At 100,000 a bid in advance now, 100. At 100,000 a bid in advance now, 100. At 100,000 in advance now, 100. Bid up if I don't see you there, 100,000. 100,000. It's handy money for that property. Lovely, lovely fields. 100,000 a bid. 100,000. Good location as well on the main road there. 100,000. At 100,000 in advance now, 100. At 100,000. At 100,000 in advance now, 100,000. At 100,000 bid at 100,000. At 100,000 bid in advance now, 100. We'll say 5 for anybody. At 100,000 bid at 100,000. At 100,000 bid at 100. At 100,000 in advance now, 100. At the 100,000 bid in advance now, 100. At the 100,000, all done after 100,000. All done after 100,000. All finished after 100,000. Okay. So lot 3 then, 8 acres. What I'm offered there. Put me in at your own price. 8 acres. What I'm offered there. Start me somebody, please. 8 acres. 60,000. 60. 50. Well, 40 somebody. 40,000. Any offer at 40,000. 40. Any offer at 40,000. 40. Well, I don't think we can start at less. 40,000. 35. Well, 30,000 somebody. Surely. 30,000. No point starting less. Any offers at 30,000. We're here 30 anywhere. 30,000. Good location. You could put a house there. You could do what you like with it. It's improved that land. It could be improved by leaps and bounds. Any offers at 30,000. For a pass it. 30,000. All done after 30,000. Okay. So now we'll offer lot 4, the entire residence and 25 acres. What I'm offered there. No. Entire, what I'm offered there for the entire. Who'll put me in there at 300,000? 300 for the entire. 300,000. Any offers at 300? 300. 290, 280. 280. Any offers 280? Before I pass it, 280,000. Any offers at 280? 280. Any offers at 280? Before I pass it. Okay. Pass on that. That's just great. Lot 2 was 100,000. Any advance on 100,000 for lot 2? Any advance on lot 2 there? 100,000. 100,000 on bid. 105 bid. 105 bid. 105. 105 bid. 105. At 105 bid. 105. 105. At 105 bid. 105. 105 bid. At 105. 110, 110, 110 a bit, 110, 110 a bit, 110, add 110 a bit, 110, add 110 a bit, 110, we said 15, add 110 a bit, 110, add 110 a bit, 110, add 110 surely, add 110 is all a bit of 110, at 110,000 a bit, 110, 110,000 any advance now on 110,000, add 110 a bit any advance now on 110, 110,000 say 5. Add 115, yes. Add 100, yes. Add 110 and bid, 110 and bid, 110. I know you like it, 110 and bid, 110. It's not dear, make no mistake about it. Add 110 and bid, 110. Add 110 is back at 110. After 110 and bid, 110. We say 15. Chance another one. Add 110 and bid. Add 110, 110 and bid. Add 110. Any advance now 110,000. Or pass it. Highest bidder will have the option on the reserve for a half an hour after this auction. If we don't do better, add 110,000 and bid 110. Add 110 and bid 110. 110 and bid 110. After 110,000, all done after 110,000. Or we pass it 110, all done after 110,000. All done after 110. Okay, just if you bear with us for a few moments, just like to speak to the owners. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll go back to, we'll just run through them again. The house on 0.543 acres. Any offers on that? Any offers there? 200,000. Any offers at 200,000? 200, 200, 190, 180, 180,000. Anybody? 180. No, okay, we'll pass that. Yeah. Lot 2, 160. 16 acres offered 110,000 at 110,000. Any advance on 110,000 at 110,000. Let's say we'll negotiate with the highest bidder. If we don't do better, we'll have the option reserved for half an hour after this auction at 110,000 and bid at 110. Any advance on 110,000 at 110,000. Any advance on 110 at 110,000. Any advance on 110. Take two at 110 and bid 110. At 110,000 bid 110. At 110,000 bid any advance now at 110. At 110 and bid 110. At 110 and bid any advance now at 110,000. At 110, all done after 110,000. All done after 110. Okay. Lot, we'll withdraw that one and negotiate with the highest bidder. Lot 3, then 8 acres. Any offers there? 50,000. Any offers? 50, 40. Well, 30 somebody. 30, surely. 30,000. 30. Okay, I'm do nothing. I'm withdraw it. And the entire, what am I offered for the entire 25 acres plus the house? 300. Any offers? 300,000. 290, 280. 280,000 somebody. 280. Okay. We'll withdraw the properties, and anybody interested after we'll speak to them. As I say, on lot 2, we'll talk to the highest bidder and he'll have the auction reserved for 1 hour after the auction. And thank you for your attendance, and thank you.